He stumbled back, his breath coming in short, panicked gasps. The shadows followed, their movements slow and deliberate, as though they were savoring his fear. He turned and ran, his boots pounding against the strange, shifting ground. The city loomed ahead, its spires and towers glowing with an eerie light. He could feel the shadows closing in around him, their cold fingers brushing against his skin. He reached the edge of the city and stumbled through a massive gate, the shadows slamming against an invisible barrier behind him. He collapsed to the ground, his chest heaving, and looked around. The city was unlike anything he had ever seen. The buildings were made of a shimmering, translucent material that seemed to shift and change color as he moved. The streets were empty, but he could feel the presence of something vast and ancient, watching him from the shadows. Donovan stood there for a while, then he began exploring the city, the map clutched tightly in his hand. The symbols on the parchment seemed to guide him, leading him through the twisting streets and alleys. He passed towering statues of beings with too many eyes and too many limbs, their forms twisted and grotesque. He saw murals depicting scenes of unimaginable horror, cities consumed by darkness, worlds torn apart by forces beyond comprehension. As he walked, he began to feel a strange pull, as though the city itself was drawing him towards something. The map led him to a massive tower at the center of the city, its surface covered in the same swirling lines as the parchment. The door to the tower was a massive slab of stone, covered in carvings that seemed to writhe and shift in the moonlight. He pushed the door open and stepped inside. The interior of the tower was vast and empty, the walls covered in the same strange carvings. At the center of the room was a pedestal, and on the pedestal was a small, glowing orb. The orb pulsed with a faint, otherworldly light, and Donovan felt a strange sense of familiarity, as though he had seen it before in a dream.